All right, y'all. This is the VIP live stream for May 30th, 2021. In this stream, we will be going over. Whoa! We will be going over Bitcoin and Ethereum, marking out some very, very important levels, and coming up with a plan, a trading plan. And I do apologize for the lateness of this stream, everybody. However, it was a crazy night. There was an accident on a very small two-lane road. We got stuck in traffic for quite some time. But here we are, ready to go. Ready to go. Welcome and God bless. Appreciate everybody for being here. Okay, let's dive right into this. There's some very, very important things that we need to discuss here. I have on here the Bitcoin chart. This is the 3-hour time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's just start looking at the macro, and then we will work our way down. What I want to do is I just want to draw out some important levels that we can use to trade. And really, I want to start by focusing on those swing trades that we can take, those good setups, and then we'll talk about trading within the range that we're in, because we actually clearly are trading within range. More specifically, we're trading within a triangle right here, and we know how triangles go. They either break up or they break down. It's very clear that we're coming to the apex of the triangle. So, within the next, when these triangles break out, it's usually 74% of the triangle and above. And so if the whole triangle right here is about 19 days, 20 days, let's say, then, how many days are we in right now? 12 days, so maybe in like 2-3 days, perhaps, we could expect to see this thing break. But until then, it's possible, very possible, that we will just stay trading within this triangle. Because, if there's 20 bars, then 75% of that triangle would be in 2-3 days or so. It is a Sunday. Tomorrow is an American holiday, which means that trading volume is probably going to be lower. So, on the daily time frame for Market Cipher, it seems that we were printing this nice juicy dot here. We came up a little bit, and now we're printing another red dot. Looks like we're about to print another green dot kind of soon, okay? It looks like we're about to curve over and print the green dot kind of soon. The VWAP looks like it's going to cross up above here. Because we're trading within this range here, and it's consolidating into this triangle, it's possible, that we could print the green dot and then print the red dot and the green dot and the red dot. I wouldn't really be too overly concerned with it. However, it's important to also note that we are, from the close of this candle, if we were to print the green dot down here, let's just say, there is the bullish divergence that is forming on the daily time frame. And I think this is something that we need to take into account. The fact that we have the bullish divergence forming on the daily time frame could be a very bullish thing. Could, bust us out of this triangle, and we could get a move to the upside. And we're going to talk about what levels we're going to be looking for when we break to the upside. If we go down to the 12-hour time frame, we can see that we have indeed been printing the divergences where the price from this green dot, the bottom that we formed, has been coming down over time, and the momentum has been coming up over time. So this is a bullish divergence. The only thing to keep in mind about this divergence is the fact that the money flow is weak. The money flow is curving down instead of curving to the upside. So there's two ways we can look at this. Either This is the bottom of the curve, and we're going to start to be curving upward now, money flow wise, and get a move to the upside. Or money is going to continue leaving Bitcoin, and we are going to be printing, lower and lower dots and seeing this whole market cipher come back down. Okay, those are basically the two options that we have, and the two things we need to keep in the back of our mind. We come down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, money flow was looking extremely bullish a few days ago, right? When we were saying, looks like we're coming up, because we were starting to print exclusively above the zero line. But then what happened is we got this head and shoulders pattern, and that brought us back down. And now you can see that instead of coming up, we're actually coming down again, because what happened, we started to print dots now exclusively below the zero line. And we're going to see this happening. The reason a lot of, the market cipher hasn't been too accurate in giving us good directional indications, because when we are consolidating like this, the market cipher will print the tops and the bottoms, but we have to take into context the fact that we're consolidating here. So because we're consolidating here, those tops and bottoms are going to print in the context of this tighter and tighter area. And so that's just something we need to keep in mind. But also, we still see the divergences printing on the 4-hour time frame. And the good news is, we see price coming down as momentum is coming up. But when we look at the top of market cipher here, the top waves are moving down in conjunction with the price. So there seems to be the bullish divergence forming, which means we could very well have a move to the upside. So that's where we're at with market cipher as far as market cipher goes. Now I want to mark out our levels. So I have a lot of levels that I want to go over today, and really what we're going to do is we're going to look at our daily levels, we're going to look at our weekly levels, some 4-hour levels, we're going to look at our fib levels, and we're going to look at volume, and we're going to see where we can find confluence. And those areas where we find a lot of confluence are going to be the areas where we are going to become most interested in entering a trade. Extremely interested. I'm going to put on my Pikachu hat, guys, because it helps me do the TA, all right? Okay, so let's start with our daily and weekly levels. Okay, so I'm going to go to the weekly time frame here. I'm going to turn off our triangle. I'm going to turn off that triangle. I'm going to refresh the weekly. Now, take a look at this on the weekly, guys. I mean, we do see that it looks like we're about to print a nice dot here below the zero line on the weekly, okay? And I know it's kind of hard to tell in the past just because we don't have good data of money flow. But if we do go to the BLX time frame, we can see Bitcoin all the way from the past. And, after the end of the last bull market, when we did print the bottom on the weekly, we still got a move to the upside, right? We still did get a move to the upside. So I'm not saying this is the end of the bull run, but you could say, I personally don't think this is the end of the bull run, guys. I really do not. But I'm just pointing out the fact that even at the end of the last bull run, the green dot on the weekly below the zero line did give us a nice move of 50%. So regardless of whether this is the end of the bull run or not, if we are going to print a bottom here below the zero line on Market Cipher beyond the weekly, that is going to give us a move to the upside, guys. That is going to give us a move to the upside. So these are just things to keep in mind as we're watching these play out. Okay, so the 21 EMA, we're still well below it. Okay, this is the third weekly candle below that 21 EMA. Okay, so let's start with some levels here. We've got our weekly level down here at 32.2. This is a weekly level, and also this also happens to be a value area low. Basically, if we pull out our fixed range, and I'll be doing this later. That's not the fixed range I want here. Let's see. No. We'll get into this more later, but I don't know if you can see this from here, but this is a weekly level and there is confluence here. It's also the value area low of basically the entire range that we've been trading in ever since we lost. Ever since we lost this upper range here, right? Ever since we fell down and dropped below 48K, it's the value area low. And so it is a weekly level, but there's some confluence there, and I just have it marked as one level, so just keep that in mind. This weekly right here at 32,292.5, it's more than just a weekly level of support and resistance. There's a lot of confluence here. It's also the value area low, and we can see that, you know, we came right up to it, and then these candles closed and opened right on it, and then in the future we wicked right down to it. So that's an important level to have marked out there. Let's see what other weekly levels I have. We have a level up here at 58,374. We can see right here these two candles. The bodies exactly open and close right here, and then we've got a wick right up to here. This is acting as our resistance, then our support, then resistance. This is a very key level, because even though we were able to come above up here many times, we were really not able to close above here besides this one candle, and we immediately came back down. So this is a very strong weekly resistance. This is a very strong weekly support. And I think this could be the entire structure of the price action that we're looking at right now. Just objectively, for right now, we are trading in between this resistance and this support. This is the foundation for pretty much everything right now. Let's see, do I have any other weekly levels that I want to keep in mind? I mean, you could say also that we have the weekly level right here at 45. Okay, let me mark this as a weekly. Yeah, you could say we have one here too. Right here at 50,735. And of course we've got this one right here at 38,350. These would be the weekly levels that we would be looking at. Then let me just mark these as weeklies. And of course, as we go, guys, I'm going to be kind of making these less lines, and we're just going to focus on the ones with lots of confluence. But right now, let's go down to our daily time frame and take a look at what we can see. Let's see what we can see on the daily time frame. Okay, so we've got a daily level down here at 23,175. This is a daily level. This is also a high volume node. If we turn on our VPVR indicator, this is the highest volume node. Right here we have a large spike in volume, okay? So there's a little confluence here. If there's confluence, I'll mark it on the line that there's more than just the weekly. Like right here is the weekly and the value area low from the loss of this weekly up here. Let's see, do I have any other daily levels? We have 34,802. This is a daily level we can see very clearly from all the way back here. Coming up to right at these candles, we were unable to close the daily candles below this 34. I guess this is 34,557. 34,557, a very key area of support. We have all these wicks on the daily time frame, but we're unable to close the candle bodies below this daily support. Okay, then of course we have a 39.2 level of daily support and resistance. You can see these candle bodies right here perfectly lined up, even these right here perfectly lined up. We have the 40.5 daily level all the way back to right here, these candles, and then you can see these candles also respected, and then we wicked right up to here. We have a 49.9 level, which I think is important right here. Right when we lost the head and shoulders, guys, this level, we wicked up to it first here, then these candle bodies perfectly opened and closed right along here. And then when we lost the Head and Shoulders, we also lost this daily level. I think that's an important level. We have a $52,000 daily level as well. Do I have any more daily levels? Well, I think it's important that we mark the January low and the January all-time high on this chart as well. I know this is super sloppy, guys. This is super sloppy. We're going to do this, and then we're going to kind of consolidate it down into a few lines and decide which ones are going to provide us the most confidence. This is a 4-hour level of support and resistance. The 4-hour right here that I have lines up very well with this weekly. I think I'm going to delete this weekly right here and just keep this 4-hour, because this 4-hour is also a 618 right here. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I have 29K marked out too, because this is the exact low that we wicked down to. We wicked down to this exact low right here after the dump, right to 29,000. Sorry, guys. Let me just make sure I'm giving you the right level. Yeah, 29,806. So, yeah, these are the levels that I've currently got marked out right now. I'm going to take off right now these weeklies that I just put on here. These other weeklies. This 45K. I'm going to leave that 45K. Let me turn off some of these daily levels for now, just so that we have a cleaner chart. And what I want to do is I want to take a look at some of these key fib levels. So let me turn off all these areas here, all these weekly levels. I think the most important levels that we have at the bottom are 32,292 as a weekly level, and then we have 29,806 as the low of basically the range that we've been trading in so far. Then we have the January all-time low at 27,635. I think those are the most important levels that we have on the bottom. And then on the top, I think the most important levels we have are 42,074 as the January all-time high. And then I would say also this $45,000 weekly level. I think these are really the most important levels of support and resistance that we have right now. Let me turn off these higher levels here. And what I want to do is I want to turn on some fibs. Let's turn on some fibs. We've got our fib from the COVID-19 dump, right? So that fib from the COVID-19 dump, you can see that right now, this January all-time high, we have some confluence right here with the 382. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that also this is the 382 as well. This is a very, very strong area of resistance that we would need to break through. Also, this weekly level up here at 50,735 is the 236 fib level as well. So we also have some confluence right there. That's something that's important to keep in mind. Let's turn on our fib from the January dump. From the January dump, we can see that the January all-time high was not only the 382 from the COVID dump, but from the January dump right here on January 4th to the all-time high. This is also our 618. So this is this $42,000 level. There's so much confluence right here, so much confluence that we could get a strong reaction off of this level right here. I would also mark out right here this $35,000 level is the 786. Just something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind. You know, we've got a daily level here and the 786 right here. This area of 35 and a little bit lower. You know, previously I was looking at this $35,000 level as the point of control from this previous range. We haven't really been respecting it as much lately, but definitely this zone right here is a good zone to have marked out. This weekly level up here is the 236 from the COVID dump. It's also the 382 from the January dump. So you'll notice a lot of times these weekly levels, you know, they line up perfectly with the fibs. And this is what I mean when we're looking for confluence. We're looking for these levels where there's a lot of things pointing to that level, saying this is a very significant level. We're definitely going to be looking for a reaction off of that level. If we take a fib from the January dump to the all-time high, wait, didn't I just do that? Yeah, I just did that. I have the same fib on here twice. Okay, I have the same fib on here twice. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. So right now, the main areas that we're looking at now would be this weekly down here, 32.2. And for our resistances, again, this $42,000 level, right? I think, and these are basically the first levels that I had marked out in the chart, but these seem to be the levels that we will get the strongest reaction off of so far if we're looking for a swing trade. And of course, you know, if we break above or below them, then we'll have to accommodate for that as well. Let me see what else I wanted to do here. Okay, so if we turn on our visible range indicator and we just go to the weekly time frame and we zoom out, okay, there's something that I wanted to mark out, which was this right here. Sorry. This level right here is a very important level. 51,394 is basically the value area high of basically everything that we see on the chart, of everything that we see on this Bybit chart. Up here, right at 51,394, is the value area high, meaning it's the indicator is showing that this entire section of price action is the range, is a tradable range, and this level up here is the value area high, which means it is a level of resistance. It is a level of resistance, meaning if we do get a pump and we break through the January all-time high and we break through 45, this area right here is an area that we really need to keep our eyes on for a potential short. There is just so much confluence right here. This is a weekly level, it's two fib levels, and it's a value area high level. Okay, that's just something that I saw that I think we need to pay attention to. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame now, and we will zoom out a little bit. And let's put on this indicator right here. What I want to do is I want to take a look at the price action that we got after we dropped below the January all-time high, because I think obviously now that we've lost the January all-time high, we are currently trading in that range that we were trading in back in January. So we were trading in this range back in January. Okay, we broke out of the range. We started trading in a higher range here. Then we fell back into the range. And so what I did was I took all the price action that we've been trading ever since we fell below this very important level of support. We lost this very important level of support right here. The January all-time high was resistance, and then it got flipped to support, and then it was support again, then it became resistance again. And so what I did was I took a look at all the price action that we traded ever since we lost that level, ever since we fell below here. And I found some interesting things that I think are worth taking note. First of all, obviously we have our point of control right here. We have our value area high. No, I'm sorry, our value area low, which, by the way, lines up perfectly with a daily level. And we also have our value area high. Okay, now these levels here are very important, I think, because look at how well they are respected. This value area high coming in at 39,787 has been respected very much so as resistance. We got 3 rejections off of there. And then this value area low, which is also a daily level of support and resistance. I mean, it was our support once. We lost it, but then we quickly regained it, retested it as support. We lost it and then quickly regained it. And currently, right now, we are getting a reaction off of it. Of course, we're going to lose it because we're printing the red dot as we're testing it. But I think this is an important level to have marked out on our chart right here. Okay. I know I have a lot of lines marked out here, guys. I just want to go through this. I'm showing you. This is the process that I go through when I'm trying to look for the levels that I think are most important to look at, and then I'm gonna kind of tone it down. Usually I tone it down a little bit more before the stream, but I didn't have time to do that today, and I figured it'd be good to kind of show you guys exactly what I'm doing here. And let's see what else we have here. There's another fixed range right here. And this range is everything that we traded ever since we lost this very important level, the value area high of the entire Bybit chart history, okay, at 51,394. Ever since we lost this, basically is a quadruple support, right? Because it was a weekly level, it's a 236 level, it's a 382 level. It's a value area high. Ever since we lost that, okay, this is all that price action. And there's also some very important levels that we have here. First of all, the point of control of this range is lining up almost perfectly with the point of control of that first range, right? It's lining up almost perfectly with the point of control of that first range. So we can just put a level here and see we have a very strong zone of resistance right here between 37.6 and 37.9. We have a very strong zone of resistance right here. We also have the value area high of that level coming in at 45,434, which again is it's giving us a lot of confidence up at this $45,000 level. Of course, we've got that point of control, and then we have the value area low. The value area low is perfectly lined up with this weekly level. So right here, I think these are some of the most important levels to look at when it comes to trading. Here, let me turn off these fixed ranges here. Let me turn off these fixed ranges. Where's that other one? Right here. Yeah, so as far as trades go for the immediate future, I would say that these levels right here, 45K, 42K, 39.7, you could even say 39.7 to 40K. And then we have 37.6 right around there. Then we have 34.5. Then we have 32.3, 29.8, 27.6. Let me actually turn off the I want to turn off the line. That price line right there. Now, I know that this can get a little confusing Let me see if I can spread it out a little bit. I'll turn off Market Cipher for now. And let me turn off this daily level here so that we have cleaner levels. Yeah, so these are the main levels that I think are important for looking to enter swing trades, right? To look to long from these lower levels here, to look to short from these levels here, especially here and especially up here. I'm going to get into that more in a second, but let's pull some more fibs, because I was messing around with some fibs in this general area here, and I found some really interesting things. So if we take the from the all-time high to the current low, okay, let me go to the daily time frame and show you guys what I'm doing here. If we pull out our fib from the all-time high at 64,990, give or take, and we pull it down to the all-time low down here at that's not the all-time low, but the low of this dump to 29K, we get some interesting fib levels that I think we should take note of. First of all, look at this right up here. At this value area high, this very intense resistance zone that we have right here, this is also our 618. So this is a value area high and a 618. Okay, this is a very, very, very strong area of resistance right here. This 51,394.5 thousand dollar level is a very, very strong resistance. This is something that we really need to take note of. This zone of resistance right here, because the 618 is one of the most reactive levels, and of course it's important to take note that right now the 2 points of controls from the 2 ranges that we've been looking at is also a fib level, a 236. So right now in the immediate short term, this is going to be a very strong horizontal zone of resistance right here. In the immediate short term, this is going to be a very, very strong level of support and resistance. And then once we break above that, of course, we have the January resistance, and we have this resistance, and then this is a super, super important resistance up there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this fib, and let's turn on a fib from the breakdown of the head and shoulders to the low. So again, I'm basically gonna pull it from this area right up here where we broke out of the neckline of the head and shoulders. Okay, because this was the head and shoulders pattern, this was the neckline. Okay, we broke below the neckline, we got the retest of the neckline, and then we came down. So I pulled my fib from up here to the all-time low. When I say all-time low, guys, I'm really referring to the not the all-time low, right? But the low of this dump, right here, right? And I think there's some important levels to take note of. Right here at about 43.6, we've got the 618 of that right there. But also, it's important to note that we have more fib confluence right here at this zone. So remember, this was a 236 fib level. This is also now a 382 fib level, and it's a double local point of control. So this is like a quadruple resistance right here that we would need to break out of. Now this is something else. Okay, if we pull our fib from the low right here to the bounce. Okay, so what I'm doing, guys, is I'm pulling my fib from the low of the dump to the high, from the swing low of the dump to the high that we got before coming back down lower. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 fibs here. I'm pulling one from the swing low. We dumped all the way down from the all-time high to this exact point. Let me turn off this fib and pull a fresh one so you guys can see. This is something that's important to do with the fibs. pull it from the highs to the lows and the lows to the highs. I'm going to pull it from this swing low to this swing high. Okay, take note of something, that this 618 right here is acting as, right now, a support. Okay, this golden ratio, we wicked down in it twice in a row. For 2 days in a row, this was acting as our support. And then we can see that this weekly level down here is also the 786 fib level. So this is a weekly and a value area low. It's also a fib level. And we got right here. I'm going to mark this, okay? This is a key local fib support right here at 33820. A key local fib support at 33820. Okay, this is a key 618. Okay, then I'm going to pull another fib from the I'm going to pull, okay, so this one I'm pulling from the top of the bounce to the second low. So the first one I pulled from this low to this high. The second one I'm pulling from this high up here to this low down here. So these are those two fibs together. Let me show you. I'm going to put them both on at the same time so you can kind of take a look. Boom. I've got them both on. And something I want to point out, and I know this is getting kind of sloppy, guys. I know this is getting kind of sloppy, but right here we have the 618 of that one fib. It's also the 236 of another fib. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this area as a very strong area to look for a reaction off of, because we can see, and I don't know if you can see that, and I'm going to consolidate this down and clean it up for us. But I don't know if you guys can see, but this level, this white line, was a strong resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance. And so I think those are some key areas to look for a reaction, So I'm going to turn off those fibs now, but I'm going to leave those white lines there. And I think those are going to give us some key levels as well. I'm going to mark some other levels that I have here. I have some other key Fibonacci levels on the chart. And the way I got these is, wow, look at this. Okay, I'm going to show you how I got these other levels, guys. So I have this level right here. This is 43.5. 43.5 is the 618 from this high up here. Okay, when we lost the head and shoulders and came up from this high to the low. If we pull it from up here to down here, you can see that we have that 43.5 golden ratio. I'm going to mark this as a key level of resistance to keep our eyes out on, because look at what happens. We wick up to it, and it's our perfect resistance. First, it's perfect support, perfect resistance, perfect resistance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this fib, but I'm going to keep that level there. Then I have another key fib level at 41.8. 41.8 level. Let me see. The 41.8 level. How did I get that level? I'm going to turn that off for now. $40,626. This is also another fib level that has confluence with a daily level of support and resistance right here. And that was Okay, yeah, so that's a 0.5 fib level right here. If we take it from the head and shoulders neckline to the low, we can see not only is this a daily level of resistance, but it's also a fib level, so I want to have that on the chart there. And then I have this level up here at 41,816. That's another Fibonacci level. I'm just going to take that one off because this is pretty much the same. And then I have we do have another fib level at 38,184. I'm going to take that off too, just because we have so much confluence right here. We don't need all these lines. Okay, so these are, I know that these are a lot of lines right here, guys. So really, what I think we should do in this case is turn off some of these lines. Okay, I'm going to turn off some of them and just keep the ones that I feel are the most important to look at. So we have 3 lines right here. Okay, I'm just going to keep that middle one. And we're just going to know that this is a general zone around 37,984. You know, if the price comes back to this level, be looking for a reaction somewhere off of this zone right here. But I think that the most important that I would be looking at is this local fib level at the 618. So I'm going to keep this white line as the most important line. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these other point of controls here. So let me see. We've got there was one. I'll delete that one. Yeah, so we're just going to keep that white line there. Let me go down to the 4-hour time frame, guys. See what I can see here. So I think it's pretty obvious that we've been respecting this level as well, right here at about 36.4 as a support and resistance level, give or take. I'm going to mark this as a 4-hour level of support and resistance. In fact, let me see. Do I already have this one marked? I don't think I do, but let me check to see if there's a fib that's given us this level. You could say it's the 382 of that fib and the 0.5 as well. So yeah, I would mark this level right here. I'd move it up just a smidgen. Move it up just a smidgen. I would say that this is a 4-hour. I'll make it green for 4-hour. It's a 4-hour support, and it's also the 382 fib, and it's also a 0.5 fib. So let me turn off these fibs again. And I'm going to remove this right here, this local value area low, only because I feel like it's not that respected. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And so you know, this level right here at 35K. This 35K level, I think is still important. I think it's still important just to note. I would say, yeah, this 35K level on the 4-hour time frame. Because if we come back here, we can see we wick down perfectly to 35. It seems to be respected. Instead of that 35K level, let's let's take a look at this daily level here. I think this daily level at 34.5 is probably the better level to put here now, because we wick down lower, wick down, resistance, support. Yeah, let's keep this daily level there. Okay, so I think that I know this is a lot of lines, guys, but because we're trading within a range like this, these are the areas that I would look to get into a trade on. At least in the initial, as long as we are between, okay, as long as we are between, you know, I would say honestly, as long as we're between 29,822 and this high, this January high of 42,096, as long as we're in between these two levels here, these are the areas that I would really be looking to enter trades in. And obviously, if we come up to one of these levels, you look for a short. If we come down to one of these levels here, you'd look for a long. And of course, you could also include coming down to this 29K level. So really, this slice of price action right here, you know, be looking for trades at these levels, at those levels. Let me just quick see if I can find anything else, something else. Like obviously, you know, you could say because we wicked down to right here at 31K, you could put a level here as well. Okay. I'm just gonna say that's a 4-hour support and resistance. And if we go back in time, I'm sure we can find other price action there. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, this level I think is also important to mark out, because you know we wick down to it down here, we wick down to it here, it's our support all throughout here. Yeah, I think that's also an important level to have marked out. So I know that this is kind of sloppy, but I'm just gonna say them out loud that well, yeah, we have our January all-time high. We have 42,074. And then we have 40,626, and then we have 39,787 as a level. Then we have 38,184 as an important level. We have 36,526 as an important level. I have 34,557 as an important level. I have 33,847 as an important level. 32,292 as an important level. 31,095 as an important level, and then 29,806 as an important level for this general range that we're trading in right here. And you know, really what we want to see when we come down to these levels, if we're looking for a trade, if we're looking for like a day trade, is, you know, we want to see price come to one of these areas, and we'll go down obviously to like the lower time frames, and we would look on Market Cipher to see what's happening. Market Cipher B, and really what we would want to see is, ideally, if we're looking for the perfect setup, is we would want to see when we lose the level, we want to see a divergence where we are printing higher momentum like this, while the price is simultaneously putting in lower lows, right? This is what we would want to see, but we would want to see it as we are losing the level, right? As we're touching and losing the level. You could make the argument that we are currently printing a divergence like this, right? And so if you see this, and we are now about to reclaim this daily level, and we come up above it, you know, then that could be an opportunity to look for a long position. Of course, keep in mind, guys, the way I like to do it is I'd like to first look at the higher time frames, like the 4-hour and the 3-hour, Because we're currently printing the red dot on the 4-hour, I would not be looking to long this right now. I would wait until the 4 hours looking like we're going to come up a little bit. The next place that I would really be looking for long is right down here at 33,820 on this fib level. But these are the levels to do trades intermediately. So let's talk about some swing trades, because I think we have the opportunity in this period of consolidation where a move has to happen, right? We're coiling up inside the triangle. A move needs to happen. So I'm going to turn back on our trusty old triangle here. Our triangle is extremely trusty, guys. It's a trusty triangle. Mike Sal in the chat, what do I think of the green plus white diamond on the daily CryptoVac A? Really? Really? I think that is a very powerful sign. Wow. Wow. This is a extremely important sign, guys. Thank you so much for bringing that up in the chat. If you ever see a green and white diamond on the CryptoVac A, that usually is a sign that we have hit the bottom on the daily time frame. Wow. That is quite interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. Look, the last time we had that was back here in right after the Corona dump. Right after the Corona dump was the last time we had those things together. And then before that, we had it right here, right at the end of the last bull market dump, the end of the last bull market dump. And then before that, we had it right before the bull market. Boom. So that is an extremely powerful indicator on the daily time frame that we are getting the green and the white diamond printing together. That is a wow. Thank you for bringing that up. I was unaware of this, but now that I see this, this is making me very optimistic that we are going to break up out of the triangle instead of breaking down. Okay, we have the divergence forming on the daily time frame right here, while the price is simultaneously, like I said, simultaneous instead of simultaneous. The price is simultaneously coming down as the momentum is coming up on the daily time frame. The CryptoVac A indicator is a very... This does not happen a lot, guys. This does not happen a lot. In fact, I'm going to talk to Super Kitty about this. I'm going to talk to Super Kitty, the creator of this indicator, and see what she thinks about this, because I've been talking to her quite a bit lately. And she has been waiting for this to happen. And she is an excellent trader, okay? She is on the level of, she is an excellent trader. So I take what she says very seriously. I will talk to her more about this and get back to you guys, okay? So let's talk about some swing trades that we could take. These levels here are obviously for more of intraday trades, right? We can catch bounces off of these levels, rejections off of these levels, of course, in conjunction with our good old EMAs on the lower time frames, right? I like to use my EMAs. But what about swing trades? Well, personally, I would be looking for the two main trades that I would really be looking for are, and let me turn off some of these levels here. Let me turn them off. Well, no, I'll keep them on. The main short that I would obviously be looking for is from this January all-time high. I really think that this January all-time high would make an excellent Bitcoin short because there's so much confluence here, right? It's the January all-time high. It's a 382 and a 618 fib level. So if we break out of this triangle, okay, we break out and we come up here and you see that we're rejecting and we're getting all the signs. then what I would do is I would enter the short right from here, right as we're getting the rejection, as we're coming down, and I would basically set my take profits at these same levels that we have, right? I would set my take profits at these same levels that we have for a swing trade, and I would set the final swing target. If we reject hard at that 42K level, I would set my targets down pretty low. I would set them down at 26K, I would set them down at 23K, and eventually even down to 19K. But I don't think we would get that far down. But 23K would be my final target for this swing trade. If we break out of the triangle and we hit this and get a hard rejection off of this very strong resistance, then I would enter the swing trade down. And then on the other side of that Bitcoin, if we come down and break down through the triangle and we come down to this 29K level again, right? Then I would look to swing trade that up, back up to the January all-time high. So that trade would look like this right here. Let me turn off the short. Let me turn on the long. And just keep in mind, guys, that if we break out of the triangle, there's a very good possibility that we will, instead of getting a bounce off of the 29K, there's a good possibility we'll get the bounce off of the 31K, and there's also a good possibility that we'll get the bounce off the 32.2K, right? Because there's a lot of confluence right here as well. So really this trade, we could either take it from the 29.8K level, or I would take it from here. I would take it from right here at the 31K level, or I would take it right here from 32,300. Okay, really what we're doing is we're looking for the level where there is a reaction, right? We're looking for the reaction, and with these swing trades, we have plenty of time to find the reaction. What I mean by that is, a lot of times, if you're scalping, you have to be quick. You have to be in and out. But if you're entering a swing trade, there's going to be plenty of time. There's going to be plenty of time. I mean, look at this, right? We come down to this level here, this white line, and we're chilling down here for 2 days. We're chilling down here for 2 days on this level before we start to come up. If we zoom into the 4-hour time frame, we can see that, we come down and we're chilling here for 4 hours, for 8 hours. What's 4 times 3? 12 hours, 16 hours before we come back up, right? So it's we have time to enter these swing trades. We have time to enter these swing trades. That's Big Butts 28. Shout out to Big Butts 28 who just reminded me, don't forget to put the chickens away tonight. Yeah, I forgot to put the chickens away last night, guys. And thank God none of them got eaten. Thank God none of them got eaten. But, yeah, those would be the swing trades that I would look to get into. Here are some other swing trades I would look to get into. Now, let me turn off these levels. This is too much. I mean, this is just too much, guys. This is too much. Too much. I'll keep that weekly on, but then I will remove all these other ones. I'm going to remove that. And CryptoVac A, guys, is a pretty good indicator, because look at CryptoVac A. It's giving us a lot of these levels, that I drew by hand by getting my fibs out and stuff. A lot of these levels that we have here are also just on CryptoVac. Of course, they're not as exact, but they're good still. They're still good levels. They got this fib level right here, the 618 they have right here. They have this fib level right here. So let's just say that we Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. Let's say that we break out of the triangle and we come up like this. We break out the green and white diamond together. Okay, we come out. You know, we might actually still be able to short this, come down, get a bounce, right? Come up. If you see that we are reclaiming this level as our support, then I would definitely look to long this. 100% I would look to get into a long trade here. If we can reclaim 42, that January all-time high, as our support, then we are absolutely, I shouldn't say absolutely, but we're most likely going to come up to a higher level, okay, a higher level. And the areas I would look to take profit on this trade are as follows. Again, I would, you know, I'm not discounting the fact that we could short this. We could still short this and just not come all the way down to our targets. We could short this down to maybe the value area high, or maybe a retest of the triangle and then get a move to the upside. If we ever reclaim this resistance as support, remember this is a very strong resistance, then you would enter a long position here, a break of this resistance. You would put your stop loss under the last swing low, and I would set my take profits back up to here, okay? But remember, you would probably want to take profits out along the way up, right? So somewhere around this area right here. Obviously, the 45K is somewhere you would want to take profit, around 48. And then this is a huge resistance where we would want to take profit and actually look for a short. We would actually want to look for a short. So let me just, this is a long from 42K. And the reason I keep these positions saved on my chart, guys, is because, you know, I'm already planning for the scenario. What am I going to do if price does actually reclaim this as support? Well, I'm going to long it, absolutely. And these are the areas where I would take profit, okay? And of course, you know, if we do eventually come up to this 51K level, this super strong resistance right up here, well, you can guarantee that I'd be looking for a short from there. You can absolutely guarantee that I would be looking for a short from up there. I would want to see us come up, right? Come down, do the lower, like that, and then lose, retest. That's usually how it would happen. We see Market Cipher giving us confirmation that we're coming down. We enter short. At the rejection, we put the stop loss above the last swing high. And we just set our take profit levels all the way down, right? This could be something that happens, right? We might get rejected hard off of this level. I mean, Bitcoin could be could be consolidating in here for quite some time. And so this would be a short that I would take from around 51. I'll just keep it saved in here. And of course, guys, you know, if we do come up to this weekly level at 58, definitely be looking for a short here as well, and then short it all the way back down, and take profits along the way. Other areas where I would be looking for longs would be if we lose, let's say we lose 29K. If we lose the bottom of this range right here, and we come all the way down to Hades, then, you know, I've already had my levels marked out, you know, 27.6, 26.5, 23K. All these areas are areas I would be looking to long, okay? I would be looking to long all these areas. I would be looking for price to come down, right? The chicken, honestly, if we come all the way down to 23, this is going to be a chicken drinking water trade. This is where price dips down parabolically, and then the chickens come in and drink up all that water, and we enter as soon as we come back up above the resistance, right? As soon as we lose the level and then regain the level with super fast buy up, that's where we enter the trade. We put the stop loss below the last swing low, and we would ride this up, right? If we actually came all the way down here, this would be a prime place to look for a long trade. But we wouldn't enter long unless we got the confirmation. And if we're going to dump down that low, guys, if this is a bearish flag, right, where now we're going to break out, okay? We're going to break out of this. Let's actually see the target that we would have just using standard technical analysis. You know, depending on where we break out of here, yeah, we would come down right around to this level, okay? If we break out, you know, before that, somewhere around this zone, right? And what do we want to see? We want to see the level lost. We want to see fast buy up. We enter on the way up. That is exactly how we would want to trade this if we break down out of that triangle and we were looking for a long position. But of course, we would look for that same chicken drinking water thing to happen at 26.5. We would look for it to happen at 27.6 as well. And just for kicks and wiggles, let's just take a look at a target if we break up out of this triangle. If we break up out of this triangle, guys, the target is this 51 levels, right? So if we're trading this triangle like a you know, like just a typical breakout, right? Like the way somebody who's a breakout trader would trade this, you know, we would, when we break this triangle, then you would put your long position in here and set your target up here. Personally, what I would do if we break this triangle is I would be very cautious. I would be very cautious trading this breakout because we're breaking out of this into some very strong resistances. So what I would do is I would make sure, if you are going to trade the breakout of this triangle, okay, I would want to wait until, see, it's tough to say. It's super tough to say. Breakout trades are risky in my mind. They are risky in my mind. But they're doable. I would want to wait for some kind of a retest, right? I would want to wait for some kind of confirmation, some kind of retest. I would want to wait to break this January all-time high before I put in my long position. I would want to wait to break this first, because, you know, really, if we first break out of the triangle, our first concern is that we get rejected off of this, you know, and then once we clear this, you could say, yeah, okay, we could come up to here, then we might get rejected off of here. I would want to see a breakout, honestly. If we break out and retest, then I would maybe long that first up to this resistance, then this resistance, and then this resistance. But to me, that's a little bit riskier. But at the same time, guys, we do have, you know, we do have the daily time frame being super bullish. So if the daily time frame starts printing another green dot, and the 4-hour comes down like this and gives us a green dot here, and we have just the most blatant bullish divergence, let's say, printing here, then maybe I would contemplate longing the triangle breakout. But breakouts are scary to me, guys, because it's sometimes very difficult to tell if we're going to break out or not. And Market Cipher helps, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. So that's the Bitcoin, guys. That's the Bitcoin. Let me see how long we've been doing this for. Wow, over an hour. Over an hour. Okay, so people are asking, what is up with the white diamond? Okay, the white diamond, guys, on the CryptoVac indicator, which was created by SuperKitty. The green diamonds and the white diamonds are two indicators that are showing us that we've come to a bottom in the price action. Okay, the green diamond means we're bottoming out. Okay, the green diamond you could think of a green diamond as something similar to a big dot on Market Cipher B, right? Something similar to this, like we're coming to a bottom. The white diamond means, okay, we're done bottoming, it's time to come back up. So when you see a green and white diamond together on the daily time frame on CryptoVac A, and the way we get to CryptoVac, guys, is this, okay? Come into the SuperKitty Discord, okay? Hit up SuperKitty. She is a technical analyst. She's a trader. Her and her son have created the CryptoVac indicator. Tell her that Jason Casper sent you. She will give you a week free trial of CryptoVac. And it's $600 for lifetime. $600 for lifetime. It's a really good indicator. It's very similar to Market Cipher. She and her son basically saw Market Cipher and said, you know what, we can do something better. In their eyes, this is their better version of Market Cipher. Personally, I prefer Market Cipher to CryptoVac, but the CryptoVac A Diamonds indicator is a good indicator of a bottom. And you know, she posts in here her TA that she does with her with her indicator, and she's pointing out the fact that every time you get the green and white diamond together, you get a pump, right? Green and white diamond, pump. Green and white diamond together, right here. Well, not all the time do we get a pump. This time we get a dump, then a pump. But she's just showing, look, we get a 400% move. Right here we get a 350% move. Right here we got a 1400% move. What's going to happen now, right? We get these moves here with the green and white diamonds. And so this is a very important indication. I recommend you check out Super Kitty, guys, if you have not already. She has a very unique style of TA. She does a lot of drawing lines on Market Cipher. I mean, she uses CryptoVac, which is basically the same as Market Cipher, right? She'll draw lines on the waves and says, like, look, like for this, for example, like she has a trend line here, and when she saw that we had broken the trend, right, we broke out of this triangle here, she knew we're coming down, and it's some interesting TA, right? Check her out for sure. Yeah. So Evan Aldo, that's up with the white diamond. You got to get CryptoVac. Of course, if you guys ever want to see what CryptoVac is saying, let me know, and I'll send you a screenshot. Shout out to Sue Nelson. Yeah, classy party. So there's a lady at my synagogue who she just turned 92. Her husband is 97. For some reason, they invited me and my wife to this super swanky dinner party. I'm telling you, like a steak dinner is like $120 over there. She's a swanky lady. Let me just put it that way. And it was the fanciest restaurant I have literally ever been to in my life. And it went longer than I thought. First, well, it doesn't matter. It went longer than I thought. Then on the way home, there was a car accident and we got stuck in traffic. But hey, what you going to do? Has the white diamond confirmed? Well, let's take a quick look-see. See if the white diamond has indeed confirmed or not. No, the white diamond has not confirmed. We have 20 hours, 15 minutes. So in 20 hours and 15 minutes, we will know. We will know about that white diamond. And also, if you guys didn't know this, White Diamond is a restaurant in Clark, New Jersey. They have really good hamburgers. If you're ever in Clark, New Jersey, check them out. Maybe CryptoFace will add white and green diamonds to Market Cipher. Maybe he will. David Moore, which indicators would you prioritize to best anticipate price action? Green or red dots, or VWAP, or money flow? David Moore, I recommend that you check out let me go to YouTube. I recommend that you check out the videos that I did. Oh, C137's live. Cool. Go to my channel here and check out this video that I did right here. Market Cipher tutorial, step-by-step guide. In this tutorial, I basically tell you what I'm really looking at to determine price action. I start by looking at the higher time frames, and then I go to the lower time frames. On the higher time frames, I'm looking at the dots. On the lower time frames, I'm looking at the money flow and the momentum wave direction. Okay, and it's always important that you interpret the lower time frames through the higher time frames. So as an example right now, on the higher time frames, right, on the 4 hour, we're printing a red dot. We're printing a red dot. So on the higher time frame, I'm prioritizing the dot. Okay, if we go down to the lower time frames now, on the lower time frames, I would be prioritizing the direction and the money flow. The direction and the money flow. On the lower time frames, what I would be looking for, if I was looking to enter a short position while the 4 hour was printing the red dot, well, I would want to see something like a divergence, money flow cross. To be honest with you, right now it looks like we're potentially setting ourselves up for, maybe a long position. Let me show you a good example, because I don't right now I don't see any kind of good trade setups, right? But check out that video I did. It gives you my order of operations for looking for a trade entry, because my order of operations is, number one, don't even think about entering a trade until price comes to one of the levels that you have marked out on your chart. Once price comes to one of your levels, you get an alert. Then you look at the higher time frames, determine the macro environment, which way is the price looking to go. Then you go to the lower time frames. And when you get to the lower time frames, then you're really going to be able to find those good entrances. The higher time frame is going to tell you the general overall trend, and then the lower time frame is going to give you your entry. Okay, and then some notes: always interpret the lower time frame through the higher time frame. Prioritize the momentum, the dots on the higher time frame, and prioritize the money flow and the momentum waves on the lower time frame. Check out this video. I'll drop it I'll drop the link. Copy link. I'll drop the link here in the chat for you, my friend David Moore. Is there a certain percentage you're trying to make on each trade? No, there's not. So, I basically, my philosophy is take what the market will give you, right? If I'm entering a trade, right, first of all, my stop loss is always determined by my entry, okay? I'm never going to just say I'm only going to risk 1% stop loss, right? If I'm going to enter long right here, okay, my stop loss needs to be below the last swing low down here, okay? So it has to be a 2.78 stop loss. And then let's say I will set my take profits up, right? That I'll just set them up, right? We're in this triangle. So I would look to take profit up here. I would look to take profit up here. I would look to take profit at the triangle. And then I would look to take profit once we break the triangle. But what might happen is we might come up and only hit, one take profit and then get stopped out. And so what I do is, if we do come up and we hit one take profit, I'll take maybe 30, 40, depending on the trade, maybe even 50% of that trade out, and then move the stop loss to the entry. What this does is it guarantees I'm locking in my profit. Okay, I just locked in a guaranteed, no matter what, 3.3%, because I took 50% of the trade out and we went up 6.66%. Man, that's a little bit evil, right? 666. So, this is guaranteeing that I just got a 3% move, and then, if I get stopped out, I get stopped out having that 3% profit, or we could hit my next take profit, and then I can, take maybe another 10, 20% out of the trade. And what it does is it ensures we're locking in the profit, but we're just going to take what the market can give you, right? I mean, if I had longed down at this white line, we would have hit, maybe one or two take profits. And then, we would have come all the way back down. Maybe, we wouldn't have gotten stopped out yet, but we would have come back down. And, I really am curious to see what's going to happen when we come back down to this area here. This area right here, if we're looking for a trade like really soon, keep your eye on this level here, right? Keep your eye on this level, because it's very possible that we could get a reaction off of this level. This is a fib level. It's a local 618 level, and it's this trend line. So, keep your eyes for a long position there. You know, if we get the bounce, you know, you could enter right here, set your take profits up here, put your stop loss, you know, below here. That's actually a pretty nice trade setup right there. That's a pretty nice trade setup. You know, the 1 hour is actually looking like we're going to print a green dot pretty soon, which is interesting because that 4 hour is printing the red dot. Let's see what the 30-minute is doing, guys. Let's see what the 12-minute is doing right now. 12-minute is giving us a reverse head and shoulders on the Market Cipher B here, which is usually a good sign. Let's go to the 6-minute. Wow, 6-minute is giving us a bullish divergence, right? We can see that the price is coming down while the momentum is coming up. And this is one of those instances, guys, where, you know, unfortunately for me, I wouldn't really look to enter a trade here, even though we're getting the bullish divergence, and some people would, and that's totally fine. But for my own trading style, I would wait until we came down to this level. That's just me. I would miss this trade because we have not come down to one of my levels. And if you do have a level here, then great. You know, great. And perhaps you could put a level here. You know, just going back in time. Let's go back in time. We can see that, you know, we could put a level here. Whoa. We could absolutely put a level right here because this was a previous support right here, and we could see it was a resistance right here and a support right here. So maybe you do have a level here, and that's great. Okay, and then you can say, okay, you know, we're getting a bullish divergence. I could look to long this, but I would like to see us come down more. I would like to see us come down to this. This would be a really nice entry in my mind. Let me pop back into the chat, guys. There's a blood diamond on the 4 hour. Is that about to confirm? Let's check it out. Blood diamond on the 4 hour. I don't have my Market Cipher A on. That's not a blood diamond. That's actually just a regular red diamond. And it will confirm in 7 minutes. In 7 minutes. A blood diamond is a bigger diamond. This is a blood diamond up here. This is just a regular red diamond, which is a bearish sign. It is a bearish sign. And keep in mind, guys, this is something else to keep in mind. We are in a downtrend, right? There's no mistaking the fact that on the daily time frame, right, we're in a downtrend. We're printing the, you know, the low, lower high, and you know we're on track to make a lower low. Which could change, guys. You know, this yellow X is a sign of manipulation on the daily time frame. I've noticed sometimes those yellow X's will put us back up a little bit. Let's see if we can find a yellow X on the daily time frame anywhere else in the past. Yeah, like look at this yellow X on the daily time frame here, guys. What did this one do? This yellow X on the daily was actually the start of a massive move to the upside, right? So we got the yellow X, and then 2 days later we start a massive move, like a massive, you know, 25% move, which eventually turned into an even more massive move, which actually ended up turning into you know, a super massive move. So, yeah, I mean that's actually pretty crazy. We got the yellow X, and we ended up with a 300% move. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, let's get back into the chat here. Oh, okay, he's looking at the cake chart. All right, guys, I did want to get into Ethereum, but we've been doing this for an hour and a half. So are there any more questions? And if not, I will mark up my Ethereum chart. I will drop it in the Jason Casper TA channel tomorrow. And I apologize, everybody, for the, I guess, the chaos in the Discord lately. I have not been able to spend as much time as I want to in front of the charts or in the Discord, and I'm going to try and block out time to be in the Discord and interact with you guys and answer questions in the Discord and post my TA in the Discord and post my trade setups in the Discord. I know that's really important. And I appreciate all of you guys for the support and being Patreons. I really appreciate that. And I just want to have a community of people who are learning, growing together, and trading together. Evan Aldo says, do you think 33.8 is a good level for a swing long, or would it be better to look for lower levels? Well, let's take a look at 33.8 there. Let's take a look. I know this is such a sloppy chart, but you know, this is when we're on our lower time frames, right? Like our hour time frame. It's not that sloppy, especially if we're on like the minute time frame. 33.8. I think that's a great level to look, man. I think that's a great level to look. Absolutely, I think that's a good level. That's the level I'm looking at for my next potential long. You know, I'll probably be asleep for it, to be honest with you. I will probably be asleep for it, but that is a place I'm looking. Shout out to Eric Tan, my man, with a trading plan. Eric Tan. But yeah, Evan, I do think that's a good level for a swing long. And of course, you know, when we're talking about swing longs, guys, obviously we want them to be swing longs, but we need to understand that they only become swing longs in hindsight, right? I look to enter swing long, like I was in an Ethereum swing long this week. It hit, I took some profit out, and then it got stopped out, you know, and that's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. But eventually those swing longs are going to work, and you're going to make massive profits on them. And let's all keep our eyes on the CryptoVac white diamond. Shout out to David Moore. Yeah, I got the baby on the way, guys. Don't know when the baby's going to come, but I'm excited for him. He should be cool. I'm going to teach him how to trade and how to farm. Do I ever set limit orders that are scalps? No, I never set scalp limit orders. Never. Thank you, Dan Christian. Thanks for being here. Jake Butcher says, I have a symmetrical triangle. What makes me choose that over a descending wedge? Let's take a look. The reason I don't have the descending wedge is because of the wicks, right? Because of the wicks. So like if we go to the hour and we zoom out, you know, to me, I just see that trend line connecting at the wicks. If I had the descending wedge, I wouldn't be able to fit as much of the price action in there. You know, let's entertain that for a second. You know, let's take a look, because that's a good question. So let's take a look at that. Okay, let me turn off Market Cipher A, and let me just take a look now at the that possibility of the descending wedge. I guess, would you do it like how would you do the wedge, I guess, is my question. Like a broadening descending wedge, or I absolutely don't mean any kind of disrespect, but I can't really figure out how to draw a descending wedge on this. Maybe if you want to hit me up in the Discord and screenshot me what you're looking at, then I could take a look. Carlos Medina, is it a good idea to increase the leverage when price is moving away from the entry? Yeah, I mean, I do it, right? I did it with my infamous Ethereum long that I longed from like 14 something and wrote it up to the Valentine's Day target. That was a 1x trade, and by the time I was done, it was a 5x trade. And really the reason I did that is because I knew that the trend was strong, and I was already in so much profit. I could up my leverage and, still get stopped out in profit, right? By adding more to my position. So it's obviously riskier to do it, right? But it's absolutely something that you can do. And remember, all leverage does is it allows you to put more money on the trade. That's it. That's all it does. You could have 10x if you have $100 in your account, you could put on 10x leverage and just place $1 on the trade. Or you could do 1x leverage and just place $1 on the trade. All that changes your liquidation price, really. So upping the leverage gives you more money to put onto the trade. And as we drip down here on the 1 hour time frame, very curious to see what's going to happen here. I would love to come down to that 38.2 level. Of course, I'll probably be asleep during it. We just got a money flow cloth, on the 24-minute here to the red. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, guys. Is something similar to what we got here, right? Looks like we're going to come down a little bit more before we come up. I mean, I could be wrong, but it kind of looks like that. Kind of looks like that. My dad just texted me good night. My dad's actually at my house right now. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. Appreciate all of you for being here. Thanks, Jake. Sent it to the Discord. Actually, yeah, Jake, since we're here on the stream, is this you, Crypto Noob? Here's Crypto. Okay. Thanks, man. Oh, okay. I see what you were saying. Yeah, the reason I don't have this pattern on my chart is simply because of the wicks. It's simply because of the wicks. That's just too much price action for me to leave out. Even though on the daily time frame we could see the closes of the candles, and I think that the line you have there would be a good daily support, like what you already have marked on your chart. I think that 34,460 is a great daily support level. I think you need to treat that line as a daily support level and then treat this trend line as a triangle, because it's just too perfect. Like, we have these 3 points that can be connected perfectly with a straight line. If you ever see that happening, you need to recognize that those are 3 points that are respecting a trend line. That's in my opinion. Oh, wow. Blood diamond on the 3 hour for Ethereum, says Lucas Pro Crypto. He said it yesterday. Yesterday at 11:56, which reminds me, guys, I've got to head out. But thank you guys for being here. And I will... Oh, shout out to Ben LDT, J-Man. Just wish I had more time to devote to this. Learning so much. Super grateful. I appreciate your emphasis toward level-headedness and a cautious approach. Yeah, you know what, Ben? Just, the reason I do these videos is so that, you guys can have some nice things to look at, some nice levels to look at, and also find confidence with your own TA. And just set your alerts, man. Set your alerts. Don't overtrade. I've been struggling, guys, lately with the scalp trades. Earlier today I entered a short. I misread my confirmations. Got out of the short. It was a whole mess. But it was good today to take a step back from the charts. You had a rough week last week, guys. I was flopping and groping last week, honestly. I think I got stopped out of like 4 trades. 4 trades. 2 of them were losses. 2 of them were break-evens. I had a few small wins, scalp trades. My swing trades were all right. They were doing pretty good. Made some good money on the swings, but the scalps, ugh. So it's good to always take a step back, Take a step back, mark your levels, come up with a plan, and you'll do all right. You'll do all right. All right, guys. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And, I'll see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow, live stream in the morning. All right, peace.